right now, there is a voice in your head listening to this. Just pause for a second and, really notice it. And if you can hear that voice, well, who is actually listening?
It is a deeply disorienting question,
Yeah.
right? Because it immediately separates you from that ongoing narration happening between your ears.
Exactly. And welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to explore that exact disconnect using a fascinating text called The Sky and the Clouds, Awakening to Awareness, just to figure out where our awareness ends and, well, where our identity actually begins.
Right, because we spend so much of our lives operating under this baseline assumption that the internal voice is who we are. I mean, the text frames this as the fundamental misunderstanding of the human experience.
This false belief that I am my thoughts.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Because reading through the source, I started picturing this baseline assumption like standing on a really busy street corner. You are on the sidewalk watching traffic zip by. And obviously, you would never mistake yourself for the passing cars. Yet, with our own minds, we constantly identify as the traffic.
Yeah, and the text actually provides a formal logical proof for why we cannot possibly be that passing traffic. It all comes down to, well, the mechanism of continuity.
Okay, how does that work?
So if you watch your mind closely, a specific thought appears, it stays for a moment, and then, it vanishes.
But you were still there.
Exactly. You existed before the thought arrived, you're present while it was there, and you remain after it dissipates.
Oh, wow. So since the thoughts are entirely transient, but your presence is constant, the changing thoughts logically cannot be you.
Right. The observer must be distinct from the observed.
But, I mean, unlike actual street traffic, our thoughts don't just politely drive by. They can completely obscure our vision and, dictate our reality.
Oh, absolutely. They take over.
So if we are just this constant observer, why do these passing thoughts cause us so much immediate suffering?
We suffer because we lose the boundary between the observer and the observed. And to illustrate this, the text moves past the idea of traffic to its central analogy.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, it says thoughts are like clouds. They constantly move, they change shape, and sometimes they turn into massive dark storms. But you are the sky.
Right, and the sky never actually changes. It never tries to hold on to the clouds or push them away. It simply contains them.
What's fascinating here is that you are not your mind. You are the observer. The voice in your head ceases to be the core of your being and becomes just another object of your awareness.
So we suffer because we forget we are the sky and start believing we are the storm itself.
Exactly. When you believe you are the storm, every lightning strike feels like a personal existential threat. Recognizing yourself as the sky shifts your identity to this immutable state.
So what does this all mean practically? Because saying you are the sky sounds poetic, but when a severe wave of anxiety or anger hits, my immediate visceral instinct is to fight it or push it away.
Right, that's what everyone does.
So how does the text expect us to just passively sit back and watch a dark storm roll in?
Well, it demands passive observation because fighting a thought still treats it as an actual threat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when you actively resist an anxious thought, your brain registers danger and pumps adrenaline to match it. That just fuels the anxiety further.
Wait, really? So by refusing to fight, by just watching the thought, you interrupt that mechanism?
Yes. You starve the emotion of the neurological fuel it needs to sustain itself.
Hmm.
I mean, the overthinking slows down, not because you defeated the thought, but because you withdrew your participation.
So shifting from participation to observation actually dismantles the thought's power over you. That is wild.
It really is. And the challenge the text leaves you with is rooted in this exact shift.
Try this today. The next time a difficult thought arises, just watch it. Refuse to fight it.
Right. Just notice the immediate drop in emotional intensity when you observe it from the perspective of the unchanging sky.
And that leaves us with one final, slightly uncomfortable thing to mull over.
Yeah.
If you really are just the sky, completely untouched by those passing storms, does that mean you can finally stop feeling guilty for the dark thoughts that temporarily float through your mind?
That is the big question.
Keep an ear out for that voice in your head today and just listen to it.